Since I had this one not before, but now I think slash hope that everything will in the second lap. So saw some parts of the start and everything went more or less smoothly there. And although we have seen a few pit stops, Iggy Lai, Sam Gobert, Gregory Mortier, and Joshua Tyler had to stop already. Let's have a look at the tires that are used. Sam Gobert is running on hards, while we see someone who left the session already. I hope that was only out of internet connection troubles, like I had. While we see penalties incoming, Awkward speeding in the pit lane. Awkward needed a pit stop here, obviously. Sadly, didn't see it. But okay, let's try to get a rhythm here. Let's try to get into sync. In the lead, nothing changed. A Mercedes 1-2 from Dylan Chapman and Dominic Walsh. And in P3, Achter Lücken, yet another strong performance by him. Let's have a look at the position swaps on the start. +2 for Achter Lücken. Thomas Walsh then in 4th, and Keo Lauvik is 5th. Both the Haases, P6 and 7, didn't change a lot between them. And Peter Simpson, the big loser of the start, you must say. As he... yeah, I don't know what happened. He just... it looked like he was almost stalling his car. Really poor acceleration on the first few meters. And that caused him to drop down by 5 positions. So McLaren 8 and 9, and then Ikic and the other AlphaTauri, the Zocker, P10 and 11. Zocker should have the upper hand here because of the RS plus the faster tire. Into the turns here, wheel to wheel. There was some tag between them. There was some tag between the AlphaTauris in Brooksland and Luffield. But everything went okay. Maybe it's Ikic +10. My goodness. Big winner of the start. Of course, he took advantage of a few drivers who needed a pit stop. But still, from 20 to 10, that is... yeah, some sort how to open up your race. Joel Wiegel needed a pit stop there. You can see the bottom 6 had been to the pits at least once. Oh, exactly once. New fast lap of the race. Dominic Walsh, who has swapped positions with his teammates. Sadly didn't catch it due to some midfield battles. Here we are. Still a Mercedes 1-2, but the other way around. The overall leader is leading the race. And Dylan Chapman, now the Hunter. Have a look how much he can zoom into his teammate there in the Luffield DRS zone. No, sorry, Wellington, of course. Wellington it is. And Achter Lücken behind isn't too far away either, while we see the first penalty handed to Peter Simpson and likewise Keo Lauvik. And Awkward, so penalties incoming now. I mentioned it in the first part, MIS is trying out strict corner cuts in 3 races of the season. One of them is right here, Silverstone. So that is one topic, to stay committed, to stay safe, stay on the right side of the track limits. That will be part of this race. More than we wanted, more than we are used to. Next penalty, 3 seconds against Zocker. Won't be the last one in this race. At least not the last +3. We see Joshua Tyler, who maybe is already out of the race. Already lapped in just lap 6. So, and now, after a interesting starting phase, we are now in, what is it? Something like a little bit of breather. Quali is, the race is taking a little bit of breather here. The top 6 are all of them in each other's DRS window, maybe even the top 8. DRS supplied indirectly to Thomas Walsh, and Iggy Lai is out. There he is, there is a Ferrari, darted into the wall, and we have the first safety car of the race. First safety car, not the last one. FX chef Gregory Mortier still catching up a penalty, and now let's see who might pit. Oh no, Nevis Ikic speeding, and he had such a good start of the race, and this was maybe that ruined his good first half of the race. A lot of pit stops now, but not from everyone. Dominic Walsh pitted in. That caused Chapman to be forced to stay out. Both the Mercedes and Thomas Walsh, the brother of Dominic Walsh, stayed out as well. So it looks like there is no necessity of a pit stop, because Chapman stayed out, Tom Walsh, Keo Lauwik, and Peter Simpson, who sees this as an opportunity to make up some lost positions from the start. Ikic would be in a good position, but he'll have a drive-through penalty handed. Likewise to Mike Taylor now. That will ruin those two boys' race. Boosted in P6. What was happening there? Don't run into a lap driver, please. You see the red X over or next to the name of Joshua Tyler, so he is indeed out of this race, while his Alfa Romeo is being AI driven. Mike Taylor in P7, he'll have a drive-through penalty as well, and then we see Dominic Walsh in P8, in theory in P6, because 2 drivers ahead have a drive-through in their hands. And Dominic Walsh stopped for hard, so he will have to stop again, while Achter Lücken, he has hard tires mounted and has to stop again, and doesn't have to stop again, and will try to go through on this set of hards, while Achter Lücken on the medium set, I don't think that he can make it through the race on this set of mediums. I think he will have to stop again. I suppose he is hoping for another safety car, and now Chapman pits. Oh no. Who is it? Keo Lauwik and Chapman. They pit now, and that... doesn't look good in my mind. That is not good. Chapman on hards, Lauwik mediums. But Chapman down to P13. No, that wasn't a good idea. I understand that Chapman was forced to stay out because his teammate went into the pits. But pitting now gives him only P14, and that is potentially yeah, potentially the end of his race, at least the end of his podium hopes for this race. Maybe. Let's see what he can make out of it. He is on fresh hearts, likewise to his teammate, but his teammate is on P6 while he is on P14. He does have some sort of work ahead of him. Now let's have a quick look at the penalties. Oh my goodness. Oh my. We see 1-2 drive-throughs. Ikic and Taylor. And then a whole handful of P3s. Simpson, Boosted, Mont, Zocca, Sam Gobert, Kiolovic, Gregory Morty, multiple +3s, and then some drivers with +5 or maybe +5 plus +3s like Awkward, Mortier or Tyler. A lot of penalty things to mention or to keep in mind. Very unusual, uncharacteristic for the mainstream racing series, but I mentioned already a few times that we test out the waters of strict corner cuts. And we have us one more lap of safety car, and I will be back with you when we turn towards the restart. Safety car in this lap means broadcaster back on microphone. And Thomas Watch warming up his tires here pretty aggressively right ahead of Peter Simpson, and that is some sort of duel we have seen already a few times in MIS history. And to one moment Thomas Walsh will start to run away. Safety car with Bernd Weidender just down the right hand side into the pit entry. Ikic another penalty, Wiegel another penalty, and we are back to green, back to racing. And Thomas Walsh has pretty much shaken off Simpson there behind him. Already at almost the 1 second mark. Yellow behind. Yellow behind. What happened there? Didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Still yellow in sector 1. There is it Mike Taylor? No, Mike Taylor is 4th. Something happened there? Oh no, it was Nivis Ikic who was coming out of the pit lane. That was what confused me. He is running on hards. I think he still has to serve the penalty. He has still the drive-through penalty in his hands, likewise to Mike Taylor. So Ikic will have himself a hard day here, hard day in the office, if he wants to get something out of it. Thomas Walsh trying to run away. It worked in the beginning. Now it seems that Simpson is catching up again. Both on 9 laps old softs. They both decided to stay out on the first safety car for a reason. Oh yes, that is a penalty against Simpson. That is a penalty. Cannot do that on stricts. He knows it now too. Wiegel, 5 seconds for speeding in a pit lane. Yep, and that caused him this, or maybe something else, caused Wiegel to retire from this race. He does retire in the pit lane. That is fair for all those drivers who still carry on. So Simpson chasing Tom Walsh, and the other Walsh is just ahead of Achterlücken. Here in co-ops, woohoo! Wow, centimeter work. Achterlücken inches away, but I think he knows what he's doing. Very, very close here through the fast turns. Dirty air effect for Achterlücken, but nevertheless he just stayed right in the gearbox of Dominic Walsh. No attack, no. That was a good idea. Oh, and who's pitting there? Ah, that was Mike Taylor, who has to serve his penalty. DRS is now enabled, and Peter Simpson will take that to attack Walsh very soon. But the penalty seconds will catch him out later. Here we sit on the shoulder of Jack Rognan, chasing after Lücken. Rognan and Dominic Walsh, the top runners on hards. And behind him, behind Rognan, is Andrew Mond, still in the DS window. Penalty after penalty incoming. I cannot catch up to him. Lauwig is out! Keo Lauwig is out! Just right here after Laffield. Safety car! Safety car! Because of the wrecked Ferrari. Must have been right here. Oh yeah, there he is! Oh no, oh my goodness! And it was Josh Taylor. My, can you believe it? What a stupid AI. Josh Taylor was AI driven, and the AI just runs into the Ferrari of Lauwig. Can you believe it? My goodness, what a stupid game. Sorry if I say so. And next pit stops for the safety car. Thomas Walsh and Peter Simpson in. Walsh, red to yellow. You can finish a race on yellow tires from now onwards. Oh, and Simpson has a new nose mounted. My goodness. I didn't see that why or how that happened, but yeah, obviously it was necessary. And so Thomas Walsh is in 10th, boosted 11 for the moment, still in the pits. And that gives the lead back to Dominic Walsh. Our overall leader is leading in this race. Behind him, Achterlücken on mediums. Strong race for him again. He had a strong showing in his inaugural race last week in Abu Dhabi, and is showing a strong pace here in this race again in P2, but a question mark behind his tires. Not sure if he can make it over the race on this set of mediums. He will be faster. In theory, he will be faster than Dom Walsh, and as everyone around him has hearts, so he can have a stronger pace. The question is just if he can make it last long enough, this strong pace on mediums. And what else is important? Tom Walsh then in P10, the first one on fresh mediums. He can make it through the race on this set of mediums, but he will have to push on this set of mediums. He will have to push to get some positions back to work himself up and frontwards. So, as we are on the safety car, I will step aside here for a moment. So here we are, back for lap 14. The lights are still flashing, means Bernd Mailänder will have himself one more lap. And now we are in lap 15, means when safety car will pit in, we have 11 more laps of racing, 9 of them with DRS. Let's have a quick look about the penalty seconds, as we have a few minutes still left. Rognan, Mon, Leonard Cam, all of them +3. These are the top runners. All of them, all of these penalty seconds somehow play in the cards of Dominic Walsh, Mark Goodman and Dylan Chapman, P7 and 8. If they can stay close, they could have some advantages out of that penalty situation too. Then we see Awkward with a drive-through, so we raise him from P9. Thomas Walsh, 10 seconds of penalty. Oh my. Oh my. That will drop him further downwards, or at least cause him to not move up over others with penalty seconds. So that will be some big thing in the end, and one of the reasons why Dominic Walsh will be the leader in our overall standings right now. Before this race, both the Walshes were level on points, but that will change in around about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Boosted +3s, Peter Simpson P12 and 11 seconds. He was chasing the lead just a few laps ago. Mortier +6 and Sam Gobert +3. So now let's have a look at the tires again and focus on the restart. Dominic Walsh has picked up the pace right here. Tries to run away from Achterlücken. Let's see how good this man, that the Scandinavian, will be able to put his mediums into work here against all those hards runners around him. He is already away by 1.2 seconds, even more now, 1.4 from Rocknern. Rocknern under pressure maybe from Mont, who is definitely under pressure by Lennart and Zocker, my fellow German, not far away either. So this could be really interesting towards the end. There is potentially a podium at stake for all these boys right here. Lennart looks faster than Mann, but here in the fast turns, Maggots, Beckett's Chapel, the dirty air effect kicks in. That caused Lennart to drop a little bit. Likewise to Zocker behind. No DRS yet, of course, in this and the next lap. Let's have a look again to the front row. Achterlücken versus Dominic Walsh. Achterlücken the fast one, because of the yellow tire, as it looks like at least. Pit stop from Awkward, who I think serves a drive-through penalty. So Achterlücken is faster than Walsh, but can he make his tires last? As soon as he needs another pit stop, things are over for him and his good race. He would even drop out of the points, as the field is bunched up so much after the safety car. And he looks really close here, so you can visibly see how much faster he is. Next lap the S will be activated, and then it should go pretty easily for him. And Lennart here in Cops behind Mont. Oh, don't run too wide. Don't do that too often, penalty wise. Yet another time we go through Cops, Maggots, Beckett's here on the shoulder of Lennart watching him. This time it was Mont who was more struggling than Stuart McDonald, and here the attack maybe already without the RS outside lane. Nope. Mont defended that very well, but this was still without the RS. That will be activated next lap. And now better lane for the Scotsman. Mont is beaten. Lennart is through in P4, muscled through. Nice battle between McDonald and Mont. Another penalty for Nevis Ekic, and now DRS is activated, and it is potentially just a question of time until Achterlücken can attack Dominic Walsh. Not yet. Wellington Straight only a short straight to catch up, but on Hanger it could be already there. the attack from the Scandinavian against the Englishman. Let's see how well he can follow him through Maggots Beckett's Chapel in the dirty air effect. And have a look, Rocknan isn't far away either. Rocknan is in the DRS sector as well. 3.5, 4 tenths now the gap. This could work for Achterlücken. The DRS is opened up and he uncorks it. And he is through. He is through. Looked rather easily. Looked like a cruise pie against the Mercedes. Yellow in sector 3, something happened there. That was Thomas Walsh. Thomas Walsh has spun there somewhere. Achterlücken, newest fast lap of the race. Tom Walsh, how big is that? Tom Walsh down to P14 plus a handful of penalty seconds in his backpack. So it is getting more and more obvious that Dominic Walsh will win this race, at least in the brothers duel for our championship. No matter if Dom Walsh finishes on P1, 2 or 3, a podium is definitely possible for the younger Walsh. But he will be the big winner in our championship battle because his brother is down to 14th while his teammate Dylan Chapman is only in P9. So only 2 points for Chapman, 0 points for Walsh by the looks of things now. And the potential fourth man, Jeppe Nielsen, who is already far away in the standings, but he is not even active tonight. So Dominic Walsh, no matter where he finishes amongst these 3 men, Dominic Walsh will for sure make up points on every of his potential championship battle. And the mediums of Achterlücken are still in pretty good shape, I would like to say. At least he can not run away, but be quick enough so that Dom Walsh cannot attack, even though the younger Walsh is inside the DRS window. Lap in and lap out. And same goes for Rocknan. Inside the DRS window, but he cannot catch up a single meter, it seems. Mostly because of the fact that Dominic Walsh is DRS equipped too. So no effect in favor for anyone. Rocknan, who seems to have something like a very similar helmet to Nikita Mazepin. So Haas driver with more or less similar helmets. It could almost mean this is Mazepin we broadcast here. So the top 3 really running away from everyone. In P4 then Leonard Camp, 3.5 seconds away already. No attack possible for anyone here. 4th, there he is, Leonard Camp. Funny thing, we had a all Haas second starting row in the qualifying until just a few moments before the end. And now we are on in a all Haas second starting row again, P3 and 4, both the Haases again, and then both the McLarens, P5 and 6, Mont and Simpson. Mont still chasing Leonard Cam, who he dropped the position to just a few laps ago. Yellow in sector 1. Already vanished. P3 and 4 the Haases, P5 and 6 the McLarens, P7 then now Chapman. He's making up a few positions, but still he will lose points on Dominic Walsh, and that could potentially mean, not the end of his championship hopes, but things get more and more unlikely when he lets Dom Walsh make up points on him and increase the gap between the two teammates. In P8 and the Alpine, is Grimmo Goodman, and Achterlücken has just picked up a 3 seconds penalty, and that could very well be the deciding factor in the end in favor of Dominic Walsh, who was very close, rather close here at the end of the Hager Straight. But Walsh, Dom Walsh, both the Walshes are very, very smart race drivers, and Dom knows very well that he just needs to stay within a 3 second gap, and he will be given the race victory then in 5 laps anyway. Achterlücken, my goodness. I mentioned already a few times. He had a really good first race in Abu Dhabi last week. Was on a potential podium course there already. And then, for some reason, threw it away late in the race. And he could have had a race win. He still has pretty good chances for a podium here. So he didn't completely throw it away today like he did last week. But he for sure threw away his chances for a race victory. We see Zocker in the pits. Fresh red tire for him. In P15, potential fastest lap run for him. And both McLarens have swapped positions. Simpson up in P5. Andrew Mond on the hards, just unable to match his pace, and now Simpson has pushed ahead over the Haas of McDonald. Makes it Haas McLaren between P3 and 6. Whoop, a little bit of slide or sloppy turn there for Leonard Cam. Didn't give Mond the position to attack though, but it brought him closer. Here we are, sitting on the shoulder of Andrew Mond. DRS zone here, but Leonard Cam is in the DRS window of Simpson too, means Mond doesn't have a real effect on it. Next penalty against Stuart McDonald. I will depict the penalty seconds as soon as we are in the penultimate lap. So then you can pick your favorite driver and have a look where he or she might land in the end. Just mentioned it. Sadly, we do not have a girl racing with us. Only boys. Only racing lads here with us. Dominic Walsh. He is always getting close to Achterlücken at the end of Hager Straight, but just couldn't get himself into a situation to attack. Either that, or he just doesn't want. That is a possibility too, that he just doesn't want to attack Achterlücken, Jelle by his name, and just stay behind and drive it home safely and easily in to make it a penalty-wise victory. Could be possible too. Funny fact, both the Mercedes are the only drivers who are still without a penalty. Mercedes leading the way in the in the Constructors' Championship, and this is one of the reasons why, because they just drive very clean and successful. And this is Sam Gobert, who successfully acquired a position from one of these Mercedes I was just talking about, attacking and overtaking Dylan Chapman. Gobert on the mediums, Chapman on the older hards, so tire advantage potentially for Gobert. But you can see the penalty icon next to the SG Swam. So that means that Dylan Chapman will be ahead of Gobert anyway due to the penalty situation. Wheel to wheel monster against Leonard Cam. McDonald defending against Mond. Not yet. It looks like that Mond is the first one, backed up of the DRS effect, of course. And now, as we are in the penultimate lap, Thomas Walsh has pushed himself into the points. At least 1 point in the hand of the older Walsh. Well, the younger Walsh will win it. And now, as mentioned, we have a look at the penalty seconds. +3 for Achterlücken, we knew that. Dom Walsh, no penalty. +3 for Rocknairn. So the podium is rather clean, and it will be a victory for Walsh, just penalty-wise. Peter Simpson in 4th. Good race, strong performance, strong pace. But 11 seconds of penalty, that will push him further behind. At least behind McDonald, because then Andrew Mond does have 9 seconds in his hands too. Likewise to Sam Gobert, so those two boys are level on penalties. No penalty then for Chapman, so Chapman, who had a mistake in my mind on strategy, he will make up a lot of positions then due to penalties. Let's see where he will end in the end. So I could imagine that he will jump up somewhere to around Simpson. Not onto the podium, but close to the podium. P9 then Thomas Walsh with 10 seconds of penalty. He will drop down. He will drop out of the points again, because Grimo Goodman and Ikic and Taylor have only 3 seconds in their backpack. Yeah, and then everything towards in the back of the field, boosted, Mortier, Zucker, awkward. That is pretty much of penalty seconds. But whatever it is, we focus on these two boys. The last lap is halfway through. Achterlücken is still leading. Strong race, and eventually, sadly, penalties will decide this race. This is what MRS usually does not stand for, but I mentioned it, we try stringency here for this race. Achterlücken will win it. Peter Simpson has pushed himself on the podium, but just very shortly, because he has added another penalty on his total. Achterlücken wins the race for exactly 3/10. And then it is Dominic Walsh. Congratulations, the younger Walsh, winning his home race. Simpson then in 3rd, but only for half a second. Rocknairn is ahead of him, and Chapman, just as expected. Chapman finished 9th or so, but is being pushed upwards into P4 due to penalties. Yeah, limiting the damage for Chapman, I would like to call it. Good race for him. A good racing performance. Not so good decision making, but still 12 valuable points for him. Good race for both the horses. Rocknairn on the podium, Stuart McDonald in 6th, and Nevis Ikic, have a look. He started in last position. He had a drive-through penalty to serve. He served the drive-through, Nevis Ikic, and still in the end he is in P6. That is quite some achievement, and therefore he is giving the title driver of the day. Yep, that was a strong performance by the driver from Karlsruhe in Germany. And here's the digital champagne for Dominic Walsh. And yeah, great race for him. Great race for all 3 of them, actually. And this is the final result after penalties. As mentioned, Dominic Walsh has won the race due to a 3 seconds penalty against Achterlücken. Then Jack Rocknairn. 4th is Dylan Chapman. 5th, Stuart McDonald. P6, Nevis Ikic, 7th Mark Goodman, P8 goes to Andrew Mart, 9th Peter Simpson, lot of up and down for him in this race. P10 final point to Sam Gobert, P11 loser of the day if you want to say so, Thomas Walsh, 0 points for him, boosted 12th, 13 is Mike Taylor, 14 the Zocker, 15 Gregory Mortier, 16th awkward and not finished Keo Lauvik, Joshua Tyler, Joel Wiegel and Iggy Lai. So, dear racing friends, thanks for being with us yet again for one more exciting race of the Mainstream Racing Series. The track of Silverstone is very well known for the S's in the intermediate sector, and next week we will have us ride the same again. We will travel to the S's of Suzuka. So next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. UK, 8:30 p.m. Continental. The stream will go online around about 5 minutes earlier. If you want to be notified, just hit the subscribe button and YouTube will shoot you a message once I will go online. Thanks for being with us. Have a nice evening. Have a pleasant Christmas time, of course, and I hope to see you again on next week's Wednesday. Until then, goodbye, stay safe, and keep racing.